Hello everyone and welcome back to online session of history. Today we are going to continue chapter number 9, last phase of struggle for independence. Students, in previous session we studied the working committee of the Congress passed a resolution on 14 July 1942 at Wardha. What was that resolution? The resolution demanded that the British rule in India should be ended immediately and India should be given independence. If this demand was not fulfilled, then the Indian National Congress warned to start a non-violent movement for freedom of India. And what was that movement? Quit India movement. Quit India means leave India. This movement demanded an end of British rule in India. It was decided to start a nationwide non-violent agitation under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi. And what did Mahatma Gandhi said? Mahatma Gandhi said, every one of you should from this moment onwards consider yourself a free man or woman and behave like a citizen of free India. We shall either free India or die in the attempts. Gandhiji made an inspirational appeal to the public to be ready to sacrifice with the feeling of do or die. Now, let us continue the chapter and understand about the underground movement. Underground movement was very important part of Quit India movement. The leadership of this movement went into the hands of young socialist activists like Jai Prakash Narayan, Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia, Chotubai Puranik, Achutrao Patwardhan, Aruna Asaf Ali, Yusuf Meher Ali, Sucheta Kriplani, S.M. Joshi, N.G. Gore, Yashwantrao Chauhan, Vasantdada Patil, Usha Mehta and such other leaders were in the forefront of this movement. Now, let us study the role of this activist in the underground movement. This activist disrupted the transport and communication. Disrupted means damaged, destroying. This activist disrupted the transport and communication as well as the government machinery by causing the breakdown of railway routes. Breakdown means damaging and cutting off telephone lines. Blowing up bridges. Blowing up means destroying. So, what did the activist do? The activist disrupted the transport and communication as well as the government machinery by causing the breakdown of railway routes, cutting off telephone line and blowing up bridges. So students, why did activists disrupted the communication system of British officers? As the work of activists was to fight for social and political rights. So they disrupted and damaged the communication system of British government so that the British officers could not communicate each other and therefore their main tools of transport and communication were broken and damaged by the activist. Similarly, Hemu Kalani with his companions tried to destroy the railway routes when he understood the news of passing of a railway carrying British troops means soldiers and supplies. Supplies means arms and ammunitions. Means British weapons. When Hemu Kalani understood the news of passing of a railway carrying British troops and supplies in Sindh province, he tried to destroy the railway along with his companions. and later the court punished him to be hanged to death. Similar groups and policies were made by Bhai Kotwal and General Awari, which made the British government helpless. The group named Azad Dasta was formed by Bhai Kotwal in Karjat Taluka of modern-day Raigad district, and the group named Lal Sena was formed by General Awari in Nagpur. Such groups made the government helpless and witless for months. In Mumbai, Vittal Zavri, Usha Mehta and her companions established a secret transmission center named Azad Radio. Patriotic songs were sung on it for spreading awareness among the people, and to encourage agitators, this secret transmission center was established. Many such transmission centers operated at Kolkata, Delhi and Pune for some period of time. Now, let us study about the parallel government. Parallel government means running two governments at a time. At some places in the country, British officers were driven out and the people's government was established. Driven out means forced to go away, means to bring an end to British government. This government was called parallel government. Now, let us see in which all places parallel government was formed. Parallel government was formed in districts of Midnapur in Bengal, Balaya and Azamgarh in Uttar Pradesh and Purnia in Bihar. Kranti Singh Nana Patel brought end to the British government in Satara district of Maharashtra in 1942, and there also he established a parallel government. At Kundal, under the leadership of Kranti Grani G.D. alias Bapu Lad, Tufan Sena was established. Students, what was the work done by parallel government? As this government was built for the smooth functioning of the welfare of the people, so let us see what was the work done by parallel government. Collection of taxes, maintenance of law and order, punishment to criminals, opposition to moneylenders, prohibition on liquor, spread of literacy, opposition to caste distinctions. Many such constructive work was done by this parallel government. People also started supporting this parallel government, and also People's Court, which was appointed to give justice to the people. People started accepting the verdict. Verdict means judgment, decision passed by the People's Court appointed by the parallel government. Now, let us understand the importance of Quit India movement. The Quit India movement was an important landmark in India's struggle for freedom from British rule in India. It instilled a new confidence among the people of India, which aroused a spirit of total sacrifice in them. Many people sacrificed their life in this movement. The number of people participating in the struggle was so huge that even the prisons in the whole of the country were not enough to contain them. Patriotic songs became inspirations for agitators. Sane Guruji and Rashtra Sant Tukdoji Maharaj composed the patriotic songs which increased the enthusiasm of the agitators. This nationwide movement is also called August Kranti. Now, let us learn about Indian National Army, that is also known as Azad Hind Sena, which was formed by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. On the eastern borders of India, thousands of Indians stood ready to fight against the British. All these soldiers belonged to Azad Hind Sena. So, Who was the leader of Azad Hind Sena? Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. He was also an important leader of Indian National Congress. He graced the position of President of Congress twice. As per his opinion, while England was engaged in Second World War, the Indians should take advantage of it and make the movement more strong. More intense means more strong. Netaji also said if necessary, India should also seek the help of enemies of England, which will help Indians to fight against the British rule. But other leaders of Indian National Congress did not support the opinion of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. There were differences of opinion between Subhash Chandra Bose and other senior leaders of the Congress. As a result, Subhash Chandra Bose resigned from the position of the president. Forward Bloc was the name of the party which was founded by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose so that he could share his views and opinions in front of the people. Later, he started appealing to Indians through his speeches to revolt against the British rule, because of which government arrested him and put him in the jail. Subhash Chandra Bose went on fast unto death in the prison, due to which the British government interned him in his residence. But he managed to escape from there. In April 1941, Subhash Chandra Bose reached Germany. There, he founded the Free India Center. From the Berlin radio station in Germany, he appealed to the Indian people to join an armed struggle. During this period, Rash Bihari Bose invited Subhash Chandra Bose to Japan. Students, what did Subhash Chandra Bose appealed to the people from the Berlin radio station? He requested people to join an armed struggle to support the movement of independence for India. Rash Bihari Bose was staying in Japan since 1915. In 1942, Rash Bihari Bose established the Indian Independence League, an army that would fight for India's freedom from British rule. In early part of 1942, Japan conquered the territories in Southeast Asia which were controlled by the British. Thousands of Indian soldiers and officers in British Army fell into the hands of Japan. So, students, during Second World War, in the early part of 1942, what did Japan conquer? Japan conquered the territories in Southeast Asia, which were controlled by the Britishers, and many Indians fell into the hands of Japan. And Ras Bihari Bose, with the help of Captain Mohan Singh, formed a battalion. Battalion means group of army of these Indian prisoners. The prisoners which fell into the hands of Japan, they were trained under Ras Bihari Bose and Captain Mohan Singh. Later, the leadership of Indian National Army went into the hands of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. This battalion was named as Indian National Army, Azad Hind Sena. In October 1943, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose established Azad Hind government in Singapore. Shah Nawaz Khan, Jagannath Bhosle, Dr. Lakshmi Swaminathan, Guru Buksh Singh Dhillon, Prem Kumar Sehgal were his chief associates. Captain Lakshmi Swaminathan was the commander of Rani of Jhansi regiment. Netaji appealed to the Indian people, "You give me blood and I will give you independence." Now, let us understand the achievements of Indian National Army. In November 1943, Japan conquered Andaman and Nicobar Islands and handed them over to Azad Hind government. Netaji renamed them as Shaheed and Swarajya respectively. Indian National Army captured the Arakan in Myanmar in 1944 but could not capture Imphal. The camping of Imphal remained incomplete. What was the reason behind this? Why the camping of Imphal remained incomplete? Because Japan stopped helping the Indian, but still the soldiers of Indian National Army were dedicatedly fighting. But at the same time, Japan accepted defeat. On 18th August 1945, the leader of Indian National Army, Subhash Chandra Bose, died in a plane accident. On this background, the soldiers of Indian National Army had to lay down their arms. After the death of Subhash Chandra Bose, the leader of Indian National Army, died in plane accident, the soldiers of Indian National Army laid down their arms. They could not fight further. Taking advantage of this situation, the British government charged treason on these officers. Treason means charged with the crime of attacking. Some of the expert lawyers like Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Bhulabhai Desai, Tej Bahadur Sapru tried to defend the officers of Indian National Army, but the military tribunal held the officers guilty. Guilty means blamable, means faulty, and they were sentenced to life imprisonment. Therefore, there was severe unrest against the British government in the minds of Indian people. Therefore, finally, the British government had to suspend the punishments given by the military tribunal. Revolts of Indian Navy and Air Force. The Navy and Air Force soldiers were inspired from the work of Indian National Army, which created discontent against the British government. The soldiers hoisted the tricolour flag on British warship. They raised the slogans against the British government. The British government sent army to open fire on the naval soldiers. The rebels also made counter-attacks with firing. The workers and common people extended their support to the naval soldiers. Finally, with the mediation of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the naval soldiers laid down their arms. Students, mediation means intervention, which also means negotiation, means having a talk. To support the uprising of naval soldiers, the Air Force officers from Delhi, Lahore, Karachi, Ambala, Meerut went on strike. Students, not only Indian National Army but also Indian Navy and Air Force supported to this movement on a large scale. These revolts were a clear indication that the sentiments of discontent against the rulers had reached a climax. In this way, the period between 1942 to 1946 shook the foundation of the British power in India. Through the Quit India movement, the severe discontent of Indian people against the British was expressed. Army, Navy, Air Force was the backbone of the British power. Not only soldiers but also common people, workers participated in this movement on a large scale. Due to these incidents, the British rulers realized that they will not be able to rule India for a longer period of time. Students, this severe movement means Quit India movement was carried on between 1942 to 1946, which shook the foundation of the British power in India. As we all know that in 1947 India got independence. So this period of 1942 to 1946 is known as last phase of struggle for independence.